What's up guys, it's Chad here with Reviews coming to you from my bathroom today. If you've been following the channel, you know behind me is Bodie G. This is his crate slash kennel, whatever you'd like to call it. It is in our master bathroom. If you've clicked on this video, you probably are interested in learning how to essentially wean your dog off of needing the crate when you're not home. Please stay tuned. I have a few tricks and techniques to help your dog not need the kennel when you're not home. Stay tuned right after this. The first thing you're probably asking yourself is, Chad, why am I going to try to get my dog out of the kennel when I spent all this time as a puppy getting them to stay in the kennel and not whining? There's a few reasons. Obviously, as an adult dog, you want your dog to have a little bit more room to roam around the house. Obviously, for protection and security purposes. Obviously, a lot of people get dogs for that reason. If someone's going to try to break in your house and they look through the front door or the back door and they don't see a dog roaming around, they're more apt to try to come on in. So having a dog in the kennel is obviously not good for that. Now, if your dog is not for security, obviously, you know, come on guys. I mean, would you want to be cooped up for, up to 8 hours all day in a small little box? Most likely not. So in this video, I'm going to go over some things you're going to need, and I'm going to go over some techniques to help allow your dog to roam around the house and not destroy it. So first thing I recommend you getting, obviously some dog treats. Everybody should have dog treats. And I recommend you getting at least 2 of these. I have small kids, so I naturally have a few of these baby gates laying around. These ones you can get for like 15 bucks off of Amazon. It's not a big deal. It's just the scissor type that expands and contracts. All right. So first things after that, you have to ask yourself: is your dog tearing up the house because it's either bored, or if the dog has what's called separation anxiety? If your dog has separation anxiety, this video is not for you, because this is not going to teach separation anxiety how to treat it. This is more for a dog that just simply likes to chew on things in your house because he's bored. Alright, so let's go check out a few things you can do, and we'll go from there. Step number 1. Take one of those baby gates I recommend you getting and expanding his space. Again, this is our master bath. The crate that was in the last shot is in the back, on the back wall there. Essentially what you're doing is you're just making his kennel a little bit bigger. This is step number 1. Just expanding his space with what he is used to having. So like I said, this is the bathroom he's used to being in, so make it a little bit bigger. Now in doing this, see, these baby gates are see-through, so it's not like he's feeling like he's being closed off. It's the same thing as the kennel. It's got the wire bars, and same thing with these baby gates. Now, whichever room you're expanding his horizons in, make sure you pick up the things that are his triggers. So, like for example, in our master bath, my wife has, blow dry or hair straightener plugged in or unplugged, and his wires hanging off of, our countertop. If your dog's trigger is chewing on cables, make sure you pick those up so it doesn't tempt him. Alright, let's go on to step number 2. It's going to be just a little bit different, but similar principle. Here we go. Step number 2. Obviously you can see here, yes, I do have a 2-story house. Okay, little by little, if you can wean your dog in step number 1 from his kennel into the room that the kennel is in without tearing things up, which is great, start moving them to a larger space. Now, when I say get 2 of those baby gates, as you can see here, I have one across the bottom of the stairs. I have a second one at the very top of the stairs. So essentially, the dog has the whole staircase to roam around in. Now, what this is going to do, okay, is going to bridge the top and bottom floor, so the dog feels like he's part of either what's going on upstairs or what's going on downstairs. Okay, so right here at the bottom of the stairs is my front door. Okay, so if he hears a doorbell or something, he's still going to be able to see what's going on, which is good. Okay, this also doubles as the best place when you have company come over. This is just a side note. So when you have company come over, they can obviously come in the front door and come into the bottom floor where most of the time, company is, and the dog is still, kind of compartmentalized on the staircase. All right, we're going to go to the next step. On to the third and final stage, okay, the bottom floor. All right. So first step, let me recap, was try to give them some extra space in the room where their kennel currently resides. Step 2, in my case, was the staircase. It is a larger room that is blocked off, so it could just be another bedroom that has a door. It's whatever you want to try. Now the third stage is opening them up to essentially the whole house. Again, I have a 2-story house. So it's baby steps. Once I get them used to the whole downstairs, it's not going to be a big deal to graduate them to just let them roam the whole house. Problems with this third stage is just the sheer amount of stuff the dogs can get into. Now, I know a lot of dogs, some dogs like to tear up, let's say, couches. Some dogs like to tear up drywall. Some dogs like to tear up rungs on staircases. So every dog has its own challenge, and it's something that you as a pet owner have to overcome and figure out a way around it. Again, my dog doesn't chew up the drywall, doesn't chew up the rungs. My dog likes to chew up pretty much everything my kids own. All of the kids' toys, stuffed animals, all that stuff. So my biggest downfall right now is going to be this downstairs, because they have stuff everywhere. I mean, if you just walk around in my house, there's some sort of a kid's toy laying around. Now, having said that, I'm going to go over the stages, the process, what I have been doing with my dog so far. We're in our third stage, so I'm going to kind of go over that. Here are some quick techniques that will aid in the process. If you are going to potentially leave for a decent period of time, decent period, I'm saying maybe more than an hour. So a little bit of exercise will do you wonders, and feeding your dog before you leave will also do you some wonders. So if I think I'm going to be gone for a good period of time, I'll go outside and play fetch for like a good 10-15 minutes. Get his heart rate up until he's, panting, he's kind of tired. That way, when he comes back in, he's going to be a little more tired and want to just kind of lay around and take a nap. So that'll kind of bide you some time. Same thing with the food. If you are planning on going out for a while, if your dog has a full stomach, he might not be thinking about chewing up his guilty pleasure. So those are just a couple little quick things that might help you in this process. We only are training for this for when we're out of the house. Whenever me and my wife or anybody is actually in the house, the dog gets to roam free no matter what. Except for when we have company, of course. So this only pertains to when we leave the house. It doesn't matter if we leave the house for just going for a walk. It doesn't matter if we're leaving the house to go to work. It doesn't matter if we're leaving the house to go pick up kids. All those things have a different time span. Obviously, a dog might be fine left in the house for 5 minutes alone, but what happens if they're left in the house for 5 hours alone? That's kind of where problems take place. So the very first things that we would do is if we were going to go outside and play with our kids, that's when we kind of started the training. Essentially, we have the dog downstairs, we have the baby gate. I'll take the kids out in our backyard for 10-15 minutes. I'll come in, And what I do is I call it a quick scan. So I walk in, I kind of look at the dog, give him kind of like the stink eye. I walk around the house on the bottom floor and see if he chewed anything up. And if the dog didn't chew anything up, I will give him a treat. Now, I will do this no matter what, because he is in a training phase right now. It doesn't matter if I go outside for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter if I go for a jog for 30 minutes. When I come back and he is free to roam downstairs, I will always do my quick walk around and give him a treat. Now, obviously, if he chews something up, he doesn't get a treat and he gets a verbal, reprimand. It's the only way really to get them to learn is if you treat them for doing good and give them a little, reprimand for doing bad. So essentially that is my technique. So again, we start small, 5-10 minutes, leaving the dog by themselves, working our way up to 30 minutes, an hour. Now don't just go from doing a 5-minute exercise to go do a 5-hour exercise. You're going to have to work your way up to that. And now essentially the goal here is to allow your dog to be free roaming of the house indefinitely without chewing anything up. Right now we're up to 2 to 3 hours. All right, that would be like going to pick up the kids from school and then having to run some errands and then coming home. We don't really leave the dog alone, free longer than that. So that's where we're at. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, ideas, you want to, leave them down in the comments, and I'm going to be happy to get back to you guys. If you like this content and you like to see a little bit more Bodhi, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a great week.